Here are our 2-week-old mini Labradoodle puppies from our Sweet Pea litter. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and today we are doing our update video for this litter. So we're going to tell you a little bit about each of the puppies. We're going to tell you about the milestones that the litter has reached in the past week, and we'll tell you a little bit about Mama Ripple as well. So let's get started, and we'll start with Ripple. So Ripple's doing really well. She is, you would never know she has puppies except for when she's with the puppies. She is totally back to her regular self. She's bebopping around. She loves to go outside and chase the ball. Now, the only time you really know that she has puppies other than when she's with them is if she goes outside and I'm not outside with her. She tends to come up in about the first 10-15 minutes. If she goes outside with me, she'll stay out until I tell her that it's time to come back in. And sometimes she'll stay out and it will be 20-25 minutes, and you can see she's getting a bit uncomfortable because the milk is starting to drip out. So, but she'll stay down there just because I'm down there, and she's hoping that maybe we're going to play ball or do some other fun activity. She's eating really well. There's no problems with her eating. She's eating about 2 pounds of raw a day, and then she's also eating the special food that we have that's for new moms, and it actually can be used for baby dogs as well once they're weaned. But it's a really high energy and a high carbohydrate diet, because not only does she need quite a bit of protein, but she also needs a lot of carbohydrates because she's nursing. So the puppies are all gaining really nicely, so we know that her nutrition is good because there's certainly no lack of weight gain in this litter. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we do the litter update. So we've done a little groom on Ripple because due to COVID right now, we don't have a groomer, and we are really missing our groomer. So Reynold actually brushed out all 4 dogs that are here. He did that over the last couple of days and adamantly declared he never ever could be a groomer. And now I'm going to undertake the task probably maybe on Monday, not sure which day, of doing a face trim for them and a little sani cut. I might even think about doing a little bit of a clip on Spirit, but my skills as a groomer are dreadful. So I want to make sure we have all of our videos done first and our puppy family visit for our other litter with Bernadette before I take the scissors to anybody, because I'm a little bit afraid of what they might look like afterward. So that's Ripple. She's doing just great. She's being good. She's really just so relaxed and so happy about it all. You can definitely tell that she is an experienced Mama Labradoodle. So now, what about the litter as a whole? Well, these guys are incredible. Their weight gain is through the roof, and they have all reached that really important 2-week milestone of opening their eyes. Everybody has their eyes open. And the puppy who opened their eyes first was Mr. Gray Collar, our firstborn, so I guess that's appropriate. And his eyes were fully opened on April 14th. So he was quite a bit ahead of schedule, considering he was not even a week or 2 weeks old. And following Mr. Gray Collar was Ms. Light Blue, or sorry, it wasn't. It was Yellow Collar, this puppy here. And Yellow Collar was the last born. And then from there we went to Miss Light Blue Collar, Navy Collar, Green Collar, and Purple Collar. I think that's the order that everybody went in there. The others all opened their eyes on the same day. Everybody was ahead of schedule, but the main one was Mr. Gray Collar, and he was way ahead of the curve there, getting everything done. So we've had to adjust their collars because they have grown so much, and this will be the last week they're wearing their newborn size collars. They're almost all grown out of them already, so they'll be into their medium size collars in the next probably Monday we will switch their collars out. We've also already wormed them, and we've wormed Ripple as well. Now, people often wonder, why do puppies have worms? Is that because the breeder isn't looking after them? Is it because it's not clean? Is it because of what they eat? Why do puppies get worms? Well, the reason puppies get worms is because all female dogs, it doesn't matter if it's a Labradoodle, what breed it is, it doesn't matter if they live on Vancouver Island, if they live in a spick and span antiseptic place, or they live out in the bush. All female dogs have worms that are dormant, and the only time those worms ever come to life is when that female dog gets pregnant. So we worm our girls when we breed them, and then we worm them again just before they give birth, and then we start worming the puppies when they're 2 weeks old. So we worm them at 2, 4, 6, and 8 weeks. And for the first 3 times, we use a very, very mild dewormer that's called Stringent. And that way there's no harm to the puppy system. You can do it as young as 2 weeks, and they can just be super tiny. These ones are a good size, but if you had really tiny puppies, it's still perfectly safe. And we do mom each time we do the puppies. And the reason why we do it so often is because worms lay eggs, and worms can keep on reproducing. So this way we make sure that we catch them all. And on the last one at 8 weeks, we use a totally different product just because we want to make sure we've covered everything. And sometimes if you use just the one gentle product, you may not catch everything. So they've had their first deworming, and we did that yesterday. And so that ensures that when they come home with you, they are worm-free. So let's start with the updates, shall we, on each of the puppies? They're all nursing, so they'll all be a little bit annoyed about me taking them away, but I think they're probably going to live. So we'll do them in birth order, which means we'll start over here with Mr. Gray Collar, the little overachiever of the litter who opened his eyes before anyone else. And we'll just let him come off of there gently. There we go. Hey, buddy. Hi. Now, they still can't hear. They can see, but their ears are not open yet. So this is our handsome chocolate phantom boy. Hello, handsome. And he is actually a tri, because you can see he has white on his chest, he has white on his toes, and has some white under his chin. And this guy is a bruiser. So he was really big when he was born. He was 299 grams when he was born, which is a really big size for a newborn mini. And it was quite a big puppy for Ripple to deliver as well. And now today, he is the first one in the litter to break the 1 kilogram mark. So he weighs 1.05 kilograms. So that's like an incredible weight gain in 2 weeks. I just think probably this litter has gained weight more substantially and more quickly than any other one that we've had. Hi, buddy. So you can see that he's not really sure. There you go. Now he's going to show you his eyes. I was afraid. There we go. Now we can see them all opened up. We'll do some pictures after the video. Sometimes we have to wait until a different day, because once we've done the video, they're all just exhausted, because it's quite a bit of an event for them, and it's a long time to be doing something different. They're also in a different place. But we will do some pictures and be sure that you can see all of those eyes. Oh, that's a squirmy boy. He says, I want to get back to the milk bar. So that's our Mr. Gray Collar, our Mr. Super Achiever in the litter. Hey, buddy. So we'll just put him back here, and he can go find himself a spot. And the next puppy is the other dark chocolate in the litter, who is Ms. Light Blue Collar. And we'll just see if she's going to let me remove her here. Try and give her a little bit of persuasion. I see she's found herself a really good spot, so she's not too keen on giving that up. Hey, little girl. Hi. So this little girl is probably also a chocolate phantom tri. I'm not exactly sure if she's going to really be a phantom or if she is a sable. We won't know that for a while, but for now, she has all the earmarks of being a phantom. And she has the extra white on her that Mr. Gray Collar doesn't. And there you can see her eyes are open. She's all wide awake. Yeah, she's wide awake and looking around, probably because she's mad at me for taking her off her prime spot there. She had one of the really good seats at the milk bar. And Miss Light Blue Collar is 0.96 of a kilogram. Now, usually we give you 3 numbers when we tell you their grams. Like normally I would say she's 963 grams. But we bought a new scale so that we could weigh the puppies for a little longer than we normally can. And unfortunately, it doesn't give us the 3rd number in grams. So when we start off, when the puppies are first born, we'll use our old small scale. But once they get to be a bit bigger like this, then we'll just be giving you the 2 numbers. So she's 0.96. So obviously next week she's going to be over a kilogram as well. So give me a little squeak. Oh, and the other thing we did today was we trimmed all of their nails for the first time. So they were getting to be pretty long and pretty sharp, which is very uncomfortable if you're a mama dog. So we took the time when we weighed them today to take all of their nails off. And I just did their front feet. I'll do their hind feet probably the day after tomorrow. And that's just so that we don't stress them too much and do too many different things all at the same time. Yeah, I'll put you just here, sweetheart. Hi, little Ripple. Next on the list is our green collar boy, and that's our really super duper little caramel extreme party fellow here. And we'll just get him maybe to give up his spot. It's okay, Ripple, it's okay, don't worry. That's a good girl. Come on, buddy, there we go. Oh, there, oh, and already light blue's in there just to take over, just like a dirty shirt. Poor Mr. Green lost his spot. Hi. So now you can really see his pretty eyes because he has those gorgeous little caramel markings around his eyes. So he has caramel highlighter all around his eyes. And of course, right now the puppy's eyes are blue. Because puppies are all born with blue eyes. His eyes won't stay blue. They'll change to a probably fairly light hazel color. But for now, with the caramel and the blue, it's a really pretty little contrast, isn't it? And you can see his caramel is starting to show up a little bit more each week. He has it on both of his ears and his one spot on the back there. And I think that's about the only spots he's going to have that color on. But he's going to be just a really pretty boy. This caramel will continue to darken a little bit each week as he gets older. And it's such a pretty little contrast when you have the white body and head and then you have the really pretty ear color. It's very similar to our Spirits markings. So Mr. Green Collar, he is at 0.78 of a kilogram. So whether or not he's at a kilogram next week, you'll have to tune in and make sure you watch our week 3 update to find out. So there we go, little boy. That's my handsome. Now, I'm sorry that you lost your really good spot there. You'll have to fight for it again. Oh goodness, here we got Miss Light Blue Collar on the totally wrong side here. I'm just gonna move her back. Yes, oh Ripple, really, there's a baby's on the wrong side. And the next one is our Ripple clone, who is navy collar. And we just need to see where she might be, because there she is, she's buried. So what the dogs will do now is if the top row of the milk bar runs dry, they'll get in underneath there to go for the bottom row. And that's what Miss Navy Collar has done. Excuse me for just a minute there, guys. And you'll hear me talking to them even though they can't hear. It's just a habit, and we just talk to them all the time. Come here, sweet girl. Oh, she says, I don't want to give up my spot either. Oops, sorry, Ripple. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I was kind of leaning on Ripple there. I think I was kind of squishing you, wasn't I? Sorry. There we go. So here is our Ripple clone. This is our pretty little sable party girl. And she is also chocolate, because chocolate comes in many different hues, but she is a caramely kind of color there, except for the dark spots on the outside of her eyes and her ears, which is pretty much the same markings that Ripple has. And in Ripple's baby pictures, she looks very, very similar to this puppy here. No, that's it. Ripple says I had enough. I'm going to go sit somewhere else and just observe. So Miss Navy Collar, hello. Are you showing your eyes to everybody? I think you have them open a bit. hey, hi. She's pretty sure that I must be the one that's offering the milk bar spot. So she's a little bit preoccupied with that. There you go, girly. Miss Navy Collar is 0.91 of a kilogram. So she'll for sure be over that kilogram mark next week as well. She's a really nice solid girl. She has a really nice solid build to her. And you can see that there's about how much room we've got left in the collar there. And you see how she's going full at it to try and see if there's somewhere to get some milk from. So she's really disappointed that I made her lose out on her spot there. Here we go, sweetheart. I have a feeling these ones are, puppies are going to be moving on to solid food, or at least goat's milk, fairly quickly. Purple collar, you're next, sweetheart. This is our beautiful purple collar girl. Hi. And purple collar is a dark chocolate party. So you can see there's quite a lot of difference between the color between her and navy collar. Come here, navy again. So this is the difference between this dog here is not a sable, whereas this one is a sable. And there's quite a marked difference in the different tones. Even in navy collar girl's here's face, where she has the darker bits, you can see the darker parts of her color are not as dark as purple collar's at all. So I wonder if this puppy doesn't belong to Smoochers. Not sure. But Smoochers is a dark chocolate, and he does not have sable in him. And I just wonder if that's not who your papa is. I am so excited to find out. And this little girl has that beautiful half ear that Ripple has. I love the half dark and half light ear. Hello, pretty girl. Oh, she's so tired. But I think you can probably see her eyes. Very much like how this little girl's face is, where her eyes are so dominant in her face and the markings just come off a little bit to the side. And then over here we just have the little smidge at the end of the ear. Purple collar is 0.74 of a kilogram. So she may or she may not get up to that kilogram next week. We'll just have to wait and see. But she is a nice, evenly dispersed weight, nice and chunky. All these puppies have a beautiful, chunky Labradoodle conformation to them. Their body type is very labby, so they all have a nice stocky build to them, which is really the ideal goal when you have a Labradoodle, is you want a nice, stocky looking dog. And last but not least on our list here is Miss Yellow Collar Girl. And Miss Yellow Collar Girl is very similar to her sister Purple Collar Girl. She too has this really nice dark chocolate and white party coloring. She just has a little bit more color because both of her ears, well, she has a little smidge on this one that's not dark, but otherwise her ears are quite a bit darker than what Purple Collars are. Are you going to show everybody your eyes? See if you can wake up. Sometimes if you give them a little blow in the face, it will make them open up their eyes. Or sometimes what I do is make them go up, and that sometimes helps too. But I think she's just looking really calm and quiet and probably not going to open her eyes at all. So Miss Yellow Collar is 0.78 of a kilogram. So she and Green Collar are the exact same weight, and they have been the exact same weight for the past 3 days. So obviously they are getting just exactly the same amount of time at the milk bar as one another. So there they all are. That's all the puppies, and that's all their news for this week. They're starting to move around quite a bit more. You can see even here in this soft bed that's a little bit concave, that they're starting to try and get up on all fours and move about and trying to find positions. They're not playing or making any real sounds yet. If they've decided that Ripple's been out in the living room with me too much, they'll put up a couple of squawks of protest. But generally speaking, they're not usually making too many sounds at all. The sound that you hear them make is when Ripple comes and gets in with them to feed them, and they're all jockeying around for position. So that's everybody. We hope you enjoyed this update. We really are very fond of this litter. We've got Taylor back working with us. We had to make some accommodations for COVID and get that all sorted out. So we've managed to be able to do that. So she's working with the surprise pack litter. And when these guys are ready to move out of the maternity ward and into the doodle den, then Taylor will be working with these puppies as well. So probably in the next week and a half or so, they'll be out there and they'll be enjoying time with Taylor too. It's really important that we expose the puppies to as many different situations and people as we can, even though we are severely restricted right now with social distancing. But we are managing to get that all worked out, and every day is a bit of a new day, and we find something new and another solution every day, which is great. If we all work together, then we can get everything to run smoothly. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, that you'll take a moment to give us a thumbs up. This is a very affectionate litter. You can see here that purple and blue are lying with their faces right close to one another, and this is a very common thing where you'll see them with touching each other's faces, paws over each other, very, very friendly with each other. So thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you back again for when we do our 3-week update for the mini Labradoodle puppies from our Sweet Pea litter at Van Isle Doodles. Hi.